Natan Levy, fresh off a big win over Mike Breeden, a heck of a fight, man. I thought it was a great fight. Kind of an early candidate for fight of the night. I know the main eventer stole that from you, but how did you feel about your performance overall after the win?
I felt great. Getting that first UFC win, it's so incredible. It's so important to everything I've done so far, everything I've worked for. It always uh, bear the fruit. All the fights I won so far. It's always been something I'm very proud of, and I will take with me for the rest of my life. But this one was special.
No doubt about it. It's a memory you'll always have. Listen, a fight that I thought you were looking really good in, and then Mike showed a lot of character in that third round, battling back. I mean, he was tough. How did you feel during that third round of a fight that I thought you were controlling, but here this guy tries to make this amazing charge in the final round?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's such a tough guy and such a warrior. I think I knew it was going to be like the third round was going to be deep water. Um, I think he's the guy that keeps going forward all the time. And for me, I had 2 rounds in the bag. So for me, it was more about. I was of course also tired, and I took some body shots from him. He's got some good boxing. Hit me with some good punches, some good body shots. So it took its toll. Also, I feel like I kind of beat up on him for the first 2 rounds. So that takes energy. Sometimes hitting somebody is more costly than getting hit. And third round, I knew it was going to be deep water. He came at me. I try to survive at first. I try to keep the game plan at first, just moving and keep picking and poking, and not going for the big shots that are not really going to do anything because he's tough. Just keep scoring. But I was kind of starting to get overwhelmed. Maybe laid off my offense and started to move and trying to clinch. And of course, when that doesn't work, you start to panic a little bit more. You get tired, you get a little bit more sloppy. Things start to get even worse and worse. It's like a snowball until I'm not sure really at what point it was in the round as far as time goes. But in my mind, I was just like, okay, this is not working. Fire back. You got to fire back. And then I started hurting him. And yeah, when I could, I hear a lot. Oh, he was hurt, in the third. Why didn't you finish him? Oh, he was hurt in the second. Why didn't you finish him? I tried, but again, he's tough. I landed some shots that I know would finish people. Any other fighter, they would go down. But he did a good job also of covering up. A lot of times I hurt him towards the end of the round, so I didn't have too much time to work. And of course, I always know he's so tough. If you think you're going to finish him and give it everything you got, you might not finish him. And then it's going to be even more dangerous.
Yeah, definitely a valuable lesson to learn. I guess, you mentioned some of the criticism or what have you, but I guess is this one that you can be proud of and take some lessons out of, right? I mean, to know that you can be pushed like that to the very end and still respond to it. I mean, does that kind of help you know where your gas tank is and just how far you really can push and still be okay to respond?
Yes, every fight you learn from. I'm going to learn a lot from this fight, but also I'm proud of every fight. I know I did my best in there. I don't, I've watched the fight a couple times so far. I don't enjoy watching myself being sloppy on those takedowns and wobbly. It kind of, irritates me to watch it. But also, I dug deep and just fought until the last bit of energy I had. And yeah.
Certainly something you can be proud of. I guess too, is it important to realize, I mean, how difficult is it? You came to the UFC so early in your career, right? It's not easy to be fighting, your seventh professional fight in the biggest mixed martial arts organization in the world. So in a lot of ways, do you feel like you're really still kind of learning on the job about what this sport takes?
Yes, I am learning on the job. I started late, I started late in karate. People start when they're 5. I started at 15. People start fighting maybe also when they do combat sport. When they're 16, they start fighting amateur. When they're 18, they go pro, or 21. I had my first amateur fight when I was 24, first pro fight when I was 26. I got to Vegas only when I was 22, so I learned what an armbar is, what's guard, what's mount at 22. Um, I have friends right now who are 21, good friends of mine from Israel who are up and coming. They're 21, they already got 7, 8 pro fights, or 7, 8 amateur fights, and some jiu-jitsu titles. So for me, it's a different game. It's always been learning on the job. It's always been being patient, but also knowing the clock is ticking. And now I'm 30 in the UFC. I thought I was going to be able to get here sooner, but I had a lot of speed bumps. But we work with what we get, and when we get an opportunity like fighting on Contender Series, you don't say, "Oh, I'm not ready. I need 10 more amateur fights and 15 more pro fights." Like, no, you take the opportunity with 2 hands, and I proved that even what I lack, maybe sometimes a little bit in experience, I make up for in the will to win, in heart, in technique, in my hard work and training. And I proved, for me, on Contenders, I proved I belonged. In my last fight with Rafa, even though I lost, I felt I proved to myself and to everybody I belonged. That was a super close fight. And today, Saturday, I proved beyond all doubt that I belong, and I'm here to stay.
Amazing. Well said. As you said, a great moment for you, a great night for you. And you took that moment to really use your platform to talk about Holocaust remembrance. And I guess I just wanted to ask, I mean, that's a moment that's probably the greatest moment of your professional career. And you took the opportunity to not make it just about you, but, to raise awareness of this. Why was that such an important thing for you to do?
The week prior to the fight, it was Yom HaShoah. It was the Remembrance Day. This week, it's going to be the Remembrance Day for the fallen soldiers and victims of terrorism in Israel. And then we have our Independence Day the next day. So it was really in between big events. And this is just what's been on my mind, watching every year, watching the atrocities of the Holocaust. It's something that we should keep in mind every day, but we don't, and sometimes you forget. And the Holocaust victims and the survivors who again went to atrocities, you can never forget. Still have a hard time to live in with a decent quality of life to this day. So it's the worst PTSD you can imagine, I believe, and just they're not here for much longer. Let's help them. And everything, like fight week, when I was seeing those things, I think I'm nervous for my fight. I'm scared. It's nothing. It's just a sport. These people have been through so much, so I had them in my mind the whole fight week, and after the fight, I didn't think ahead too much about doing it. I kind of had this idea, and it just came out in the post-fight interview. So I didn't figure out the details, prior. How am I going to sell it? On what platform? But I'm working on that right now. I will post about it on my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The moment it's set, I'm working on it. I think 1 or 2 more days, and the auction should be live.
That's awesome, man. I just think it's so great when people can use their platform to raise awareness of other things other than just your own career. So props to you for doing that, man. And we'll keep an eye out for the auction for sure. So let's talk about what is next for you. I mean, this is, as I said, a historic moment, a night that you'll always remember. But in the UFC, you're always moving forward. It's always on to the next big fight. So give us an idea. What's the plan? Or, I don't know if there's specific opponents you want at this point in your career, but are there a time frame at least? When do you think we'll see you compete again?
Yeah, this is the sport of MMA. You're like, I won. Oh my God. Oh fuck, what's next? I don't know who I would fight. I leave that to my agent and to the matchmakers. I think for me, 3 to 4 months would be perfect. I don't need 5, 6, 7, 8 months to get ready for a fight. I'm in shape. I had only low calorie ice cream so far, so I still got my abs. Um, I'm ready. I just want to recover a little bit, let my nose heal, my face heal a little bit. Gonna get a couple MRIs, but I think I'm gonna be good to be back to training like next Monday, maybe even prior. I kind of already want to jump into at least jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or something, kind of roll light, and then I don't need a super long camp. I just need a good decent amount of time to know who I'm fighting, get ready for them, get to peak shape, and that's it. 3 to 4 months. I know there's an event in Paris in September. I'm not sure if it's Paris or France, but I was born in Paris. I speak French. I think I can help promote the event. I think people from the country would come watch me from all of Europe and even from Israel. You can fly. It's a 4 hours flight. Many people fly to Europe to watch UFC until we get the UFC to Israel. So in the meantime, they can come to Paris and watch me fight. I think that'd be cool.
That's a natural right there, man. I mean, you're going to help them promote. You speak the language. I mean, I got to call Sean Shelby McMaynard right now. That's where it has to be, right? It doesn't make sense anywhere else.
I agree.
We'll do our best to get it done.
It's always nice though fighting like at the Apex and just drive home for 5 minutes. So Vegas, Paris, one or the other, I'm cool.
I love it. I love it. We'll work on getting it done, Natan. In the meantime, we'll just say congratulations on your first UFC win, and we look forward to everything that's still to come, man. Best of luck in the next one.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.